Good morning class. My name is Shiny Mukherjee and I am going to discuss lesson number 3, rotation and revolution with you all. In this session I would be trying to conclude and sum up the lecture and the chapter. Before I go in detail with you all, let's just discuss and I give you a brief summary whatever I have explained you till now. Okay. The first thing we discussed was rotation. Second, we discussed the revolution. Third, we discussed the days. Fourth, we discussed the change due to earth rotation. Fifth, we discussed solstice. Sixth, we discussed equinox. Seventh, we discussed about the orbit. Eighth, we discussed about the effects of rotation, effects of revolution, ninth, we discuss about axis. 10th, we discuss about the seasons with time. That's solstice and equinox in summer and the autumn all that. And one of the most important thing, the 11th point, we discuss about South Pole and North Pole. Okay. So all these points I have discussed in my first two sessions. Quickly let's brief up, okay. Rotation, it causes day and night. Revolution gives you a year. Days and nights are being discussed, how the formation of days and nights are there. Then change due to the earth rotation, whatever the changes we got, some places receives the daylight, some receives the night, all that. Then solstice where sun stands still, equinox where the days are equal, nights are equal. Then we discuss about the orbit, okay. We discuss about the effects of rotation and revolution. We discuss about the axis, how it moves. We discuss about seasons with time, the 21st June, 21st December, changing of the days and nights I have given, and South and North Pole, flattened ones. So each and everything was discussed with you. Now, when we are going through all this thing, all these points we have discussed, the things that we find common over here is how it happens. A small earth, a planet moving on its axis and also covering its own circle. Okay. During that, the sun is also having its work. It is moving to the perpendicular over here. It is having 23.5 degree tilted. It is having the line on the rays on the equator. So every detail I have given you about the rotation and the revolution. Okay. Now let's go in detail about the further things. Seasons of the earth. Now the most important thing, seasons with time. In that first previous slide I have given you that spring, autumn, winter, summer, all that. Now we will discuss this in detail. Now if you see the picture here, the seasons are given. It has been divided into two major ones, winter, summer. Then two, autumnal and vernal. Okay. Now let's discuss how it works. Okay. Here the summer solstice, the first day of summer to the northern hemisphere. You can see the light over there And in winter solstice, the first day of winter in the northern hemisphere. So we should know and remember that how the winter and the summer approaches. Okay. Now in the above picture you can see how the sun is overheaded, and in the below picture also how the sun is overheaded to the spheres and it's to its axis. It is 23.5 degree tilted. Okay. As it moves to the east to west direction, so the most encountered position is the northern side. So that is the most important reason here. The sun and earth are not to the scale to the drawing. I am telling you because it is a figure given to you. So exactly scale you will not able to find. But sir, I have tried to explain you the things. Now during this rotation and revolution, the change happen. Now when it is going, first it will have this spring, then it will have this summer, then it will have the autumn, and then it again will have the winter. Now the question comes, then when the rainy season comes? It comes between the summer and the autumn. Okay, because that rainy season, or we call the monsoon, that is also divided into two parts, monsoon winds and retreating monsoon. So during this tenure it happens, because these are the trade winds. Okay, the winds that we have discussed, these are the trade winds. They carry the trade winds with them and the monsoon happens. So during that time it happens, because the level of the summer and the precipitation is too high, then the formation of cloud is there, then condensation, and again the cooling process moves on. So one of the most important thing here is when rotation and revolution is going on, during that time also the season happens, the season works. Okay. Then the autumn equinox is the first day of autumn in the northern hemisphere. Vernal equinox, the first day of spring in the northern hemisphere. So from here the days are counted. Okay. From that, but when that time when the sun gives its light or reaches, or rays are reaching to that particular zone, particular area, the northern hemisphere, that time the first day of spring happen. Then that first day when summer solstice, that means when the sun is giving its first ray to the tilted portion of the northern hemisphere, that time summer comes. Then like vice versa, the autumn and the winter. So like this the seasons happen. These seasons are also responsible for the cultivation of crops and various agriculture, because during this season there are various types of crops are cultivated. In winter seasons you will get the rabi crops, in summer season you will get the kharif crops. So different types of crops are also cultivated during this season. This season also provides various types of change in the livelihood. Few people, those who are living in the winter, they have a different living style, different life pattern, different way of living. The people, those who are living in the summer season or summer areas, they are having a different type of living standard. Even this changes gives you the different eating habits too. So all these things, all these changes, eating habits, lifestyle, dresses, traditions, festivals, each and everything is responsible due to the rotation and the revolution of the earth on its axis. Yes, seasons and earth's revolution. Let's go and discuss here. This picture will tell you the entire meaning of it. Now, can you see the picture clearly? You will find where the sun rays are going direct, on which zone, about which degree, each and everything. Let's go and discuss. So the first is March equinox. If we discuss from the top, it is having the equator faces sun directly. That means here it is 60 degree north, 30 degree north to the equator, and 0 degree in that, and Tropic of Capricorn, even the Tropic of Cancer. Now if you see, the sun rays is reaching to the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, that means the southern part is receiving the sunlight. Now if we go to the direct sun rays where 23.5 degrees south is given, here the December solstice I am discussing. So here the northern hemisphere tilts away from the sun. So there is a quite good distance from sun to that particular place. It happens, and this particular time is called December solstice. That means here the winter is there. Which sphere is enjoying the winter season? The northern hemisphere. Okay. In this, the direct sun rays is going to the northern hemisphere. Now, if I talk about the September equinox, here the equator faces sun directly. Can you see the overheaded of the sun? And here the equator is facing the direct sunlight. Now here when the constant tilt is there of 23.5 degree, here June solstice, that means northern hemisphere tilts towards the sun. Here in this picture you will able to find out that how the sun also plays an important role here. There are the months also given. You can see March, December, September, June. So these months also play a very important role because during this the change of the season happens. Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn also works over here. Okay. And the one most important thing that the movement and the tilted of the earth. Now as the earth is tilted, so when it is tilted to this direction and it is moving to its axis and the sun is there, so it would have a day over here and it would have a night over here. That is, even exposure to the sun of that particular hemisphere will receive the summer season, though it may be winter in other part. But during that tenure, during that time, that particular zone is having the summer season and the other is having the winter. Now we can say that when we are having summer, the other places are having winter, and when we are having winter, other places are having a summer. I can give you one example. There is a place called New Zealand where when we are having the summer season, they are having the winter, and when they are having the summer season, we are having the winter. So there is a very drastic change. So you can find out, Google or read the books about it, and you will be able to encounter or acknowledge about so many interesting facts about the rotation and revolution of the earth on its axis and then on its orbit. One most important thing, as we all know that the earth atmosphere is constructed with various gases. So at many places that gases covering is little uneven. Okay, it may be thinner or thicker at many places. So during that time the ultraviolet rays that is reaching to our earth also plays a very important role. Now the other thing that I wanted to say, seasons and earth's revolution. So the earth revolution creates and develops and gives you the various types of seasons too. So if you are enjoying summer right now, it is just because the earth is having it tilted to the June solstice. After few days when you would be enjoying the winter season, the earth would be in the December solstice. When you would be enjoying the little bit of chillness or warm climate, it might be in the March solstice, and when the beginning of winter is there, the earth is in the September equinox. So all these things, can you see there are two words using June solstice, December solstice, March equinox, September equinox. So that means these solstices and equinox also differs, also have a difference, also have their own range. Okay, so after solstice again equinox, and after equinox again solstice. So it is a complete circle. If you see from top, First is March equinox, then December solstice, then September equinox, and then June solstice. So entire month, or you can say the circle, the distribution is there. If you count from March to December, there is a gap of months. From December to September, gap of months. From September to June, gap of months. From June to March, again gap of months. If we count the gap from March to December, March, April, May, June, July, August. That means 6 months difference is here. You can see the changes going on here. Clear everybody? So these are the changes, these are the distribution. Then December to September, September to June. Another thing is, one most important thing you can see, only northern hemisphere is being discussed. The reason is that that hemisphere is very easily exposed to the sun. Southern hemisphere needs time to reach the sunlight as compared to the northern hemisphere. It only happens when it's revolved and completes a half circle. That time the southern hemisphere also receives the sunlight. Till that particular area enjoys the winter season. That's why in many countries, European countries, the winter seasons or the winter time is very much prolonged as compared to summer. They are not acquaintance, or you can say habitat of very scorching heat or summer season. They are used to of the winter season too. That's why their lifestyle and living pattern is also very much different to us. Now reasons for season. There might be some reason for that. The combination of the revolution around the sun and the fixed angle of the earth's axis result in the following seasonal changes. And what are that? Temperature changes, angle of sunlight, number of daylight hours. Not daylight hours. You might heard that few people or your parents might be working and they are saying daylight hours, increasing of 1 hour working. So that is the daylight hour increasing there, okay, because that place is having the prolonged daytime. Now see, now how it happens, combination of the revolution around the earth. That means again two things, combination of the revolution of around the sun and the fixed angle of the earth's axis. And what was that fixed angle? 23.5 degree. That is the fixed axis. Result, okay, it produces what? Following seasonal changes. Which changes they are talking about? Temperature changes, angle of sunlight, number of daylight hours. Now we will discuss these 3 points in detail. Now if I talk about temperature changes, that means different types of changes in the temperature. Somewhere it would be very hot, somewhere it would be very cold, somewhere we having a mild temperature, somewhere we having a humid temperature, somewhere we having a dusty one, dry temperature, wet temperature, sweating would be there, all these changes. Angle of sunlight. Angle of sunlight plays a very important role because the way the sunlight reaches to the earth's surface, in that manner the life sustains. Particular area would have a good amount of sunlight, then they would be in a position to grow more crops, cultivation. They can use the sunlight as a solar energy. All these things are there. And number of daylight hours. So that means prolong of the daylight. Now let's discuss the picture here. Here the seasons are given again with the dates. You can see September 21 autumnal equinox, June 21 the summer one, then March 21 the vernal, and again the more hours of sunlight here, December 21 the winter. Now in this you can see it is going to the clockwise direction. If I start from the March, it is going to June, then it's June to September, and September to the December, and again it is coming to the March. In this you can see there are few words mentioned over there: more hours of sunlight, less hours of sunlight, less hours of sunlight and more hours of sunlight. That means particular places are getting the sunlight in a proportionate manner. The proportion can be less or can be more. When it is in the June, it is having the more sunlight. Going to the September, you can see the entire place is having the more sunlight. It is quite bright. But the other pictures you can see, they are having the distribution. It may be equal or it may be uneven. Even the March is having the less, because that time many places have the winter season. So we don't have that much of scorching heat during that time. The seasonal changes are due to the 23.5 degree tilt of the Earth's rotational axis. So this is one of the most important reason of the seasonal change. So if I say about that change due to the Earth rotation, this point completely clears the reason of the change of the season. Another thing that I wanted to tell here is that all these points are related to each other over here. Okay. Now the number of daylight hours, it also have a variation. Few places will have a daylight for a 2 hours, 3 hours or 5 hours more as compared to other places. During this, the time is also calculated. Wherever in your world clock, if you see, in your mobiles you all are having world clock, where there is a plus given, it means the hours are added ahead of it. And when the minus is given, it is back one. So this daylight, or you can say the rotation and revolution, also causes the change in the time. Few places are ahead of us because the sunlight comes earlier to them, so they get the day first, so that's why they are ahead of us. So Asiatic countries are quite ahead of that because we are coming to that hemisphere where we receive the sunlight directly and very first as compared to the other places. And few European countries, they receive the sunlight very later, so that's why they get, or a new day begins later as compared to us. When we have completed the half day, after that they get the new day, or the sun gives the light to that particular zone. Now here you can say the winter for northern hemisphere and summer for southern hemisphere. Why? Because the northern hemisphere is not getting that much of sunlight as compared to the southern hemisphere. So that is the most important reason. Please go through and read the entire picture clearly, because it will give you the main impact of the season, and also the work of rotation and revolution. The other thing is that being the fixed angle, so we have to understand that being in the fixed angle, it never changes its position, but it changes the entire thing through that revolution. Okay? Yes. Seasonal cycle. Now, what is a seasonal cycle? Due to Earth's gravity or Earth's movement, axis has the orientation in space. What its result? As it orbits, Earth's northern hemisphere is angled towards sun and then away. Same for the southern hemisphere. Part of the year neither is angled towards sun. Earth experiences seasons. Now, in short, if I tell you, whatever the part of our earth is receiving the sunlight, that part receives the, you can say, the different season. As our earth is little bit tilted, so that is the reason that we didn't receive the much more equality in the sunlight, or the distribution is even. It's proportionately different, okay. So during this time, during this season, when it changes, the hemisphere, the northern or the southern hemisphere, they get different types of season. That is the seasonal cycle. So see, we have these seasons, summer, winter, autumn and spring. So it will circle, okay. The variation may change. I just give you an example over here. If it starts from summer, again it will come to summer. So this is a cycle. Okay. So if northern hemisphere is witnessing the summer season such and such particular date in a month, it will complete its cycle and complete to that. This complete of cycle is also called a revolution. So our earth is not only giving you day and night, it is working very hard. It is giving you each and everything. It is giving you day and night, it is giving you a season, it is giving you solstice, it is giving you equinox. It gives you a proper distribution of each and everything with completing its one orbit, that is 365 days. Before I sum up my session, just quickly revise what we have gone through this chapter. I have explained you the work of rotation, I have explained you revolution, the cause of day and night, the changes due to the earth rotation. We have discussed the sun still, the equinox, we have discussed about the orbit, how it works, we discussed about the effects of rotation and revolution, we discussed about the axis, till now we have discussed, we discussed about the seasons with the time, date and the month. Even I have explained you about the job of north and south pole, that and the north and southern hemisphere. So by this I am winding up my session, and your home task is that read the chapter, find out the various types of seasons the other countries witnesses during the earth revolution and rotation. Till we meet again, thank you, take care.